Alright guys, we are back for yet another Bleach Grave Souls video. Excuse my voice, I'm a little sick here, so recording this video will be a bit more difficult, but yeah. I was too hyped for this 1000-year blower banner, and now that the hype has kind of settled down, I think we can pretty much break down this entire banner, explain the whole status element plus that these new characters have going for, and everything else, because bro, we got just so news. It's already crazy. Like, we already got the advanced announcement of 5-star plus accessories, which we're going to be getting the Quincy Cross with the what was it, the Katakron Alpha. Sadly, these are going to be dropping on the 13th, so we'll have to wait a while, but at least we'll finally have all of them. These are the last batch of strong attack damage items that have yet to get the resurrection, and we're also getting limit breaker quests, which surprisingly, they have actually decided to reward us with a 5-star summons ticket 1000-year blower. I mean, only clear 14 stages, you get the 5-star ticket that guarantees any 1000-year blower character. That is so nice, man. Like, bro, I'm way too hyped. This is already really. The only negative I have to really give is the fillers for the banner. The fillers are just not it. I was expecting True Shikai and Yuha to return on this banner, and they did not come back whatsoever, and the individual banners are just god-awful. I'm sorry, but no, like, Ichigo's banner, I can't even call Toshiro good anymore. Ikaku, yeah, sure, there's some usage in him. Like, there's not gonna be too much competition until we get an actual GQ booster. As a NAD character, you can still use him. Like, if you don't have Siruchi, this is a good character for the Range Squad 0 guild quest. Good super potion. Farmers still are worthless. Potion Link, plus 10 potions, but nobody really uses this character anymore. Worthless. Askin, worthless, even though he's a damage buffer. Plus 10 potions, replaced by Shunsui, the Parasol one, worthless. The fillers aren't it. The fillers aren't it for the individuals. At that point, you're better to summon on the main banner, which, again, come on. Alright, I'm happy that they brought back Aizen as a filler, because I don't see him too often, so I'm happy about that. And I'm glad that they anticipated Toshiro and Ringiku as fillers. Now, I don't have Ringiku. She's not that good of a character, but for people that want to pull her for her, at least people will get the chance to do so. And Toshiro, this character right here, now gained a lot of value because of the updated guild quest. He's going to be a lot better for the Nightmare difficulty, and if you guys ask me, will be a must try to get alongside the new Senjumaru for the Captain Guild quest. Oh yeah, and Aizen, still a Nad King that he is, even after being 2.5 years old. I need 2 more copies of this character. But bro, why do we have all these 1000-year blower resurrectable characters, huh? Like, alright, I'll give Caleb credit for putting Remy, Bambi, and Orihime, because all 3 of these characters are really good links, and not everyone is going to have them 5-5, because they all provide recharge with 20% full stamina strong attack damage. These are still one of the best links in the game. The fact that they have one of each attribute, almost, yeah, that's a W. But for me, it's kind of bad. And these 3 characters are just, what are you guys doing here? Weren't you just on, like, part 2 of Anniversary? Weren't you on a different 1000-year blower banner? Like, how many times do I need to see you, bro? You're not even the good one. You suck. You suck. The fillers are just not it. I'm sorry. It's just so bad. I don't like this. And it is the 50-step format, like we've been getting throughout the entirety of the 1000-year blower banners as of recently because of the anime returned campaign. This is probably the last 50-step banner that we're getting up until the anniversary. The reason why we've been getting back-to-back 50-step banners was because we were going through an anime return campaign. We're going to be getting the core 3 finale today, and this is definitely the last that we're gonna see. Like, don't expect the next 1000-year blower banner to have the 50-step format again. It's gotta go back to 25 steps. It'll have 9 characters this time as fillers, and we'll have the 4.5 into 1.5. Of course, there's not that big selector ticket that you would get for going to step 50. Alright. Let's just talk about the characters. Ichigo. Damn, they made him into another hard character, which is actually crazy. If you guys ask me, I think it would have been better if he were power or mind. Would have been, you know, so much better, because art has way too many cracked units. It still has like Byakuya, Holobankai Toshiro, Trushikai to some extent, Kyoge to some extent. Like, I would have preferred if he helped out another attribute. But everything else, he's actually contender for one of the best characters in the game. Like, he's top 3 level. Top 3 level. Just because of the simple matter of fact that he has the new Weaken Plus status element. I'm going to explain the status element plus in a bit once we explain Ichigo and Senjumaru, because especially for Senjumaru, since she has that mechanic, it's going to be very important to talk about. He has an EX move, which is the same as 9th Anniversary Kenpachi. What that fucking means is that this guy, just like Kenny, will be able to get a 360% spiritual pressure boost, because it doesn't stack. It's multiplicative. Through that EX move, you get 100% SP boost. Plus the 80%, again, it's multiplicative. You multiply that, getting the same performance as Kenny. And the crazy thing is that this guy has a better kit. He has a 3k length beam. He has a new superior second strong attack, which is basically a 960. But that 960 isn't even a 960. It's a whole ass fucking 1020 AoE in front, which is crazy. And the mags on it are also way stronger, because normally it has like, what, 120% mag? Now it's 140%, so you're going to do so much more damage. The only difference is that now the SA2 is going to have a bit of a longer cooldown, but it'll barely be noticeable, because guess what? He has 14% recharge. So like, instead of being like 10 seconds, it's 9, so that's going to help out a lot. And he has the defeated enemy bonus, similar to Yuha, which is crazy. Like, look at this. Defeat 20, melee damage 20%. Defeat 40, team party strong attack recharge of 50%. Which is basically the skill that Soifon has, where it buffs everyone, which is crazy. And you'll be able to get 15% of your cooldowns back once you move to the next quest area. I don't know what's 15%, but bro, I think it makes sense, because this guy already has fucking 14% recharge. So it makes sense at the end of it. Defeat 60, Devastation 60, and Defeat 80, increase special move uses a plus. Tell me that's not Yuha's defeated enemy bonus, where the only difference is, instead of getting Berserker, you get a recharge. I like that. I think this guy is going to be a king in Limit Breaker when it comes to using overall hard characters. If it's gonna boost melee hard characters in particular, and of course, if you can get to use Quincy killers. And yes, this guy's gonna be better than Ishin or Guild Quest, because he just freaking outshines him. The son surpassing the father. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. And then you look at the skills. He's got Frenzy plus 3, Berserker 60%, Devastation of 60%, increased element chance against Quincy's, weakened defense, Poise Break, Poise, Marauder, complete status immunity, and 80% SP boost. Just the perfect character. This is just perfect. I don't see anything else that this character needs to be the best character in the game, and he's already contending with Remy and Kenpachi, who are the best characters in the game. And he's definitely already better than Uetsu with what he has. Oh. This is freaking ridiculous, man. This guy is gonna be crazy. Absolutely. Like, what else does he need? Maybe Rampage, but then I think this character would be a bit too broken if you ask me. Like, you already have so much spiritual pressure. Like... yeah, I'm too happy. And since we're at it, we already have some of the damage calcs for this Ichigo already. So I do want to give shoutouts to Cyril for making this, and X for letting me know about this. But yeah, this is what he is capable of doing at 2.5. And he's already really cracked enough as it is. Already getting over the 70 million damage It's just having one extra copy into the character. And then at 5/5, this guy is actually capable of hitting almost 90 million, as you guys can see, just through the sticker, pill, and the badge plus, which is crazy on that SA3. It's almost up there with Kenny, and it's just so stupid, man. It's really ridiculous. If Ichigo had laceration as well, not just weakening, oh yeah, you could easily pair up the 40% damage to lacerated enemies, and I think probably outshine Kenpachi, even though Kenpachi does have a higher Berserker multiplier, but this is still so goddamn cracked, and you have a better kit at that too. So yeah, Ichigo, easily top 3 best units in the game, no doubt. And now, let's go over the controversial one, which already, from when I was streaming, I had people saying, oh, Senjumaru is mid, Senjumaru is average, everything else. Lads, I think y'all need to sit down and read what she has, because, okay, even I, at first, was a bit disappointed seeing Senjumaru having Guild Quest skills. But I have to be realistic with you guys. This character, compared to so many of the other Guild Quest characters that have come out, that have those GQ skills, this is the one character that is not going to get too much hurt by. And I'm going to explain that in a moment. So this character has Captain Killer Plus, and pretty much has a more different usage of the status element plus compared to Ichigo, because this character has like 5 different status elements. She inflicts burn on the NAD, she inflicts freeze on the SA1, she inflicts paralysis on the SA2, and the SA3 inflicts lacerate with the soul bomb and the EX move. Yes, she has an EX move which inflicts drain, which is already crazy. And we also need to explain the status element plus, but let's just go over these skills. Alright? So her EX move launches a wide range attack around the character, and then boosts allies and debuffs enemies for 15 seconds. What the fuck? This character has the same EX move as Grammy already, which is insane. Oh, 20% full stamina damage boost. Okay, with recharge, that's really good. Sprint plus 2, paralysis immunity, and havoc of 20%. And then we take a look at everything else. Yeah, okay. Frenzy plus 2, Frenzy plus 3 in Guild Quest. Melee damage 30% in Guild Quest. Outside of that, 10%. Kill effect 30, 50% in Guild Quest. Yeah, this is where people are drawing the line and are really disappointed. But lads, just take a moment to look. So, she has 80% SP boost. Marauder, Poise Break, Poise, Weaken Defense, Debilitator of plus 5 second, Berserker 40, Bombardment, and increased element chance against Soul Reapers. This character already has 40% Berserker with 20% full stamina damage boost. Has an EX move, which is like Remy, and is one of the best EX moves that we have in the game, by the way, to the point that it actually fucking does damage, that you almost one-shot the enemy mobs, coming from a guy that has a 5/5 Grammy, and this character is gonna be almost as good as Grammy in Guild Quest. And outside of that, I would only argue to say that 2 of her skills are pretty much wasted, because if y'all ask me, I think that it would have been nice that she got 20% strong attack damage buff to power Soul Reapers. Oh no, Team Party 20% strong attack damage buff to Soul Reapers, so she buffs any Soul Reapers. And then this one should have been damage to element affected enemies or Soul Reapers, regardless of the attribute, 30% at that. And I think it would have been better, but this is still not bad if you take a look at everything else. And now let's go over the whole aspect of the status element plus, because this is very important. Status elements with a plus are more powerful and last longer than regular status elements. So already, these are going to be a lot longer. The new plus type status elements can be inflicted on a character who is already afflicted with another status element. So guess what? This means that you will be able to override an already inflicted status element with another status element, and you can keep the SP boost permanently. It's already pretty damn crazy. A combination of up to 4 regular status elements and plus type status elements of different kinds can be inflicted on an enemy. That's crazy. Let's take a look at the description. If 2 status elements of the same type are used against an enemy, they will be afflicted with the more powerful of the two. For example, using an attack with Weaken Plus against an enemy afflicted with Weaken will result in Weaken Plus replacing Weaken. However, using an attack with Weaken against an enemy afflicted with Weaken Plus will not result in Weaken Plus being replaced. So yeah, that's kind of the only difference. If it's a regular status summon compared to a status summon plus, that is the only time it's not going to be able to work. And now take a look at this. Character afflicted by more than one status summon will suffer the effects of all. Okay? So with Senjumaru, it doesn't end with just being able to override, but look at this. But if both Confuse and Domination are inflicted on an enemy, only the effects of Dominate will be. Okay. This makes sense overall with how Confusion and Domination is applied, because what it implies is that Confuse, it confuses the enemy and attacks whatever it's around them, and just, how do I put this? Consider it like as if it's Pokemon. You inflict confusion, the Pokemon will either choose to attack the foe he's fighting or just hurt itself, which still doesn't make much sense. But Domination, on the other hand, you dominate the enemy, and you brainwash them. You make that foe kill each other, and if there's no other enemy around, they just kill themselves. Yeah, basically. But this is important right here. It just means that, on top of being able to override the status summons, these are going to stack. So, you pop the Laceration, that's still gonna work, but let's say you were to put Freeze as well. That enemy will also get lacerated and frozen. Apply Paralysis, same thing. And you can also apply Drain via the EX move. So, it's so stupid. Senjumaru, even though she has Guild Quest skills, she is already looking to set up an example of how to be a really amazing character, even though she has some Guild Quest skills being applied. And let's take a look at the status summon resistances. Well, because this needs to be talked about. Status summon resistances are only half as effective against plus type status summons. So to be completely resistant to them, characters need a resistance of 200%. Yeah, that's crazy. So now against status summon plus, you need 200% complete status immunity. For example, if a character with paralysis resistance 100% is inflicted with paralysis plus, only 50% of their resistance will be effective. So yeah, that's actually crazy to think about. And we might as well want to talk about Guild Quest, because if you guys aren't aware, in Guild Quest already, enemies are immune to weakening by 80%, meaning that once you proc the weakening, it's only going to last for like 1 to 2 seconds if you have debilitator. If you have no debilitator like Mugetsu, that's only going to last for like a couple frames. So with Weaken Plus, in this kind of case, yeah, the reduction of 80% is definitely going to get lowered by 50%. So that's already going to be very good by far, and it just means that this Ichigo is just going to be way more cracked. They just made weakening good again because of the status on the play. But yeah, what I explained here is basically what's being explained in the description. This means the length of the time they're affected by paralysis for will be halved rather than completely nullified. So, really good. And there's also some changes that we need to talk about. But to conclude about Senjumaru, if I were to talk about this character, I think that she's easily a top 2 power character. I think she's better than Mugetsu, by far. Mugetsu, he's great. Don't get me wrong. But the lack of debilitator in Guild Quest is what kind of killed him off to being a very amazing competitive character for the Melee Hollow Guild Quest. And while he is better than Yuha, we're definitely going to get another replacement for him, because that guy in Very Hard Guild Quest, he just wasn't capable of getting 54 seconds. He's capable of getting 54 seconds. I meant to say he's not capable of getting 55 seconds and just does not compete with 9th Anniversary Kenpachi and Remy. No way in hell, even though he's basically a 9th Anniversary renewed version. This Senjumaru, on the other hand, yeah, he basically has similar multipliers as Mugetsu. 40% Berserker with 20% full stamina damage boost, albeit Mugetsu does have 50% Berserker and the 20% strong attack damage buff to everyone else and himself. And even then, again, Senjumaru does have a lot more stuff, like the top poise break, which matters, by the way. Now enemy mobs in Gale Quest do have poise, so that helps for sure. And yeah, you also have the status element plus. Compared to Soifun, I still think that Soifun is going to be the harder hitting character, even though she doesn't have guard break, and is going to be a bit more fun. But this character is an easy top 2 contender. So yeah, I changed my mind on Soifun a lot since then, and yeah, I have good expectations for this character. I know some people are still very upset. Even I would have preferred if this character got Frenzy plus 3 overall. But as content is right now, it's ridiculously easy, okay? Like, you guys cannot complain to me and say, oh my god, this Bankai quest that I still need to start doing is so goddamn difficult. Link slot trials are so hard, bro. No, it isn't even that difficult. We don't have any type of hard co-op content. And realistically speaking, the only difficult content would be Limit Break Request. And that just varies on the rules of the characters. Like, you're not going to be able to use Senjumaru because she's mainly going to be a Guild Quest character. And let's say you do get the chance to use her, like, at a minimum, they're going to buff up the power characters rule in slot 3, and that's pretty much it. And there's just going to be different characters to make use of. And at that point, you're just better off using Soifun for a Limit Break Request. I'm just being realistic. And common quests, come on, this is easy until we get the update to it. And even then, let's say we were to get more difficult content, all she would really need to proc her SP boost is to have Soul Reaper enemies in the mix. So let's say we were to get some hard, difficult content, that's all she would really need to get all of her damage output out. And besides that, again, compared to all of these Guild Quest characters with killer effect, melee damage, range damage, whatever the hell they have, Senjumaru is better than Lil Toto. Senjumaru is better than this Christmas Retsu, even though Christmas Retsu was also one of the better GQ characters too, because while she did not have Berserker, she had the same skills as Senjumaru. But on top of it all, had an EX move, not as good as Senjumaru, but of course, had 55% full stamina damage boost. Already baseline multipliers. Whereas these guys right here, they're reliant on killer, for the most part. And they just don't have Berserker. Big example being Candice. Candice, I like her kit, but goddamn, she needed freaking Berserker. Like, Frenzy plus 3 in Guild Quest with 40% damage to paralyzed enemies. No, that's not good. That's not good. As a guy using her in Guild Quest, no, that's not good. Rukia, this character does have Berserker. Like, she's kind of similar to Senjumaru in that kind of sense. But here's the thing, which I forgot to mention too. Senjumaru has a better kit. Like, she has the Suction Vortex 960 in front and the full screen 1200 radius SA3 with the beautiful EX move. Yes. This Rukia, her SA2 sucks. Like, the only redeeming quality is gonna be the SA3, which is the 1170 in front. Like, it's very nice, aimable. But the SA1 doesn't really complement too well with the SA2, and for whatever reason, they put a Suction Vortex on that SA2 over her, which inflicts no status summon, so, like, it's not even that good. Oh, and Senjumaru does a bit more damage than this. Forgot to mention, so, only by, like, 10% at that point, even though it's different multipliers. Senjumaru has 40% Berserker. That's pretty much about it. And of course, this is literally the take of how to make a GQ only character. A character that has no fucking Berserker, no SP boost. But once you have a Ronker Killer active, oh, you get all this extra stuff. 100% damage to lacerated enemies. Round that up to 40%. All this crazy stuff. He's only going to be good against a Ronkers, but guess what? You use her outside of Ronkers, bro. At 1.5 and 2.5, she actually sucks in Link slot trials. And it's easy content. Like, if you guys are just gonna complain about Senjumaru so goddamn much, complain about the fillers. Because this is just atrocious. How do you tell me that end of year Ichigo and Yuha are not back, and we don't even see the likes of Kyoge, Eburn, Bambi return, or even any of the Squad Zero characters? Like, for fuck's sake, we got the Squad Zero return on different return banners, and they don't even coincide well with the release. Come on. It's just so bad. It's baffling to me, so, yeah. That's pretty much about it. I think Senjumaru is going to be a really fine example of how to make a good character, even though 2 of her skills are wasted, but she's still going to be really good. She's mainly going to be meant for the Captain Killer Guild Quest rotation, but I can see her still being a really nice and effective character, so, even outside of Guild Quest. And since we're at it, I may as well go ahead and show you guys Senjumaru's damage calcs with what she can do in Guild Quest. Obviously, she's not as cracked as Ichigo because of the 360% SP boost that he gets from the EX move and everything else factored in. But this is still not that bad overall with what she can do. And this is her at 5'5". Other than that, yeah, not bad. Shout out to Cyril once again. Now, let's talk about Askin. Boy, Askin, I fucking love what they did for this character, man. I really do, because they made a Brave Battle character, but outside of Brave Battle, he can be really good in PvE content. Yeah, he has double killers of Stern Ritter and Soul Reaper. It's not Killer Plus. I was expecting him to get Soul Reaper Killer Plus, but I don't mind it. It does balance it out because this guy has ranged AI with a melee collision nat string, so he's going to be a lot more consistent with how he attacks overall. Has damage reduction of minus 21%, and then look at this. Sprint plus 1, long reach of 20%, and sharpshooter. And then look at what the fuck he has. He has flurry plus 3 and bruiser 50. What the hell? We have yet to start getting more characters with flurry plus 2 with a high bruiser, and already we're jumping to flurry plus 3 and bruiser 50. And he's a Brave Val character too. He's ranged as well. But guess what? This guy also boosts on the SA2 because he has Enhancer and Booster with Poise and Disabler. Bro, look at this. This feels so nice because what they did is that they balanced out a Brave Battle character to be really good in PvE content, and in Brave Battles he only has like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skills. And for PvE, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skills. Wow. Wow, and we're not even keeping into account the innate skills, so Askin fans, while they're a bit disappointed that this is a Brave Battle character, this is a really good release. And this guy has Disabler too, because in case you guys weren't aware, this guy procs poison on all of his attacks. And this guy is going to be a toxic piece of shit in Brave Battles, just because of the simple matter of fact that no one is immune to poison, and he's going to be able to inflict and start taking away the enemy mob's HP. Yes, he's gonna be even annoying to Orihime. He also spawns like a fucking plant vortex on that SA3 of his, and will just suck away all those HP, which is actually crazy. He's also the one character that doesn't block attribute buffs and debuffs, which is actually interesting to say, and of course does have persistence, so yeah, he's very interesting. Now, here's the problem. In Guild Quest, I will not use this character because of the simple matter of fact that you will be able to override the status summon. Now, I could be very wrong in this kind of case, where he's able to stack his poison on top of, like, you know... Okay, let's talk about ranged Stern Ritter Killer. Who are you going to use for ranged Stern? Holobankai Toad. But let's just get that out of the way. What if Askin can override his poison against the enemy mobs once you're trying to do freeze with Toshiro? Here's the problem. Askin is gonna take away literally all of Toshiro's damage because Toshiro does 100% damage to frozen enemies, and the extra 40% damage gives out to himself and everyone else, and he just loses out so much damage that you cannot bring this guy in Guild Quest. That's the kind of issue that we have unless we get a powerful Guild Quest character that can inflict poise to then want to have Askin be your best helper for that type of Guild Quest rotation in particular. So that's kind of the issue that we have for him. That's really it, because of the poison plus that he has going for him. So yeah, and of course Disabler too, I forgot to mention, but it's so ridiculous because he basically has increased status element chance regardless of the enemy, regardless of the attribute, and it's on a Brave Battle character. It's only a matter of time until we get it on an SP character, and that's when things are going to be very crazy. Yeah, actually, this is the one thing I kind of wanted to talk about. I feel like Ichigo, if he had Disabler, instead of increased element chance against Quincy's, just Disabler, so that way he can be good even outside of Killer. Holy shit, that would have been so crazy. Yeah. I like all three of the characters. They're all going to be designed really nicely for the content that they're meant to be used in, and I want all 3 of them. Ichigo being the main meat and potatoes, Senjumaru being the beverage, she's the drink, and then Askin being a really nice appetizer. Yeah. Okay, I know I had to, but yeah, but the fillers is atrocious. If you guys want my honest opinion, summon on the main banner. Don't go for the individual banners. Like, I don't think they're that good, and this one, well, while the fillers aren't the greatest, you're gonna get a lot more value summoning here than on the individual. So yeah. Y'all have a wonderful day, lads. I did want to break this down and just talk about it more in-depth in another video. I was too tired yesterday, plus I'm still sick, so that's kind of the reason why I chose to release it a day later, so yeah. Let me know once again how you guys feel about the characters. We do have the resurrections up. I'm gonna have to resurrect some more. So yeah, have a wonderful day, lads. Peace out, and best of luck for you guys in your summons. So yeah, take care, lads. Bye. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao.